Folks, drama bin drama, Arab drama. Ay, yeah, 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 yeah. What is happening in Kenya? The truth is, there isn't even enough time to read the news. It is too much. You know, ordinarily, you read the highlights, yeah, or you take in the highlights and you're okay. And you focus on the big story or the big stories. But what do you do when you have about 50 big stories? Where do you start? Well, as you might have already guessed, it's also a huge challenge for any analyst. It's a huge challenge for me. What do I cover? What do I not cover? Yeah, what do I do a video on? What do I not do a video on? Because I can't do 50 videos a day. That's not humanly possible. Wah, wah, wah. And so, what I have decided to do in this video is to touch on a few major headlines before I go into our main topic for today. At least you'll be able to catch up on quite a number of big stories before I go into the main topic for this video. Now, yesterday, Finance CS Henry Rotich spent 12 hours being grilled at the DCI, Directorate of Criminal Investigations, along Kiambu Road. Bwana Rotich arrived at DCI when it was still dark, at about 5:45 a.m. I guess the idea was to avoid press cameras, showing him entering DCI for grilling. For the sake of non-Kenyans, grilling is the Kenyan term used for interrogation. Now, my attention was drawn to what investigators are accusing Bwana Rotich of. The allegations that could actually lead to charges in a court of law. Now, of course, the main issue are those two dams somewhere in Elgeyo Marakwet. Projects that are now being called by some Kenyans phantom dams. Now, of course, you know what phantom means. They don't exist. People have paid money, but they have paid money for nothing. The money has gone into people's pockets, while on the ground, nothing has happened. Of course, those involved are strongly denying this. They are saying the money was paid to prepare, what needs to be prepared before a dam project starts. But common sense just tells you, you spend billions, and yet all you can see is a thicket. Even if you're not an expert on dams, surely there's something very wrong there. Now, these allegations against Bwana Rotich, most of them are centered around a company called Hekiro Investments Limited. Now, although this company is not owned by Bwana Rotich, it's actually owned by some Italians. It's a foreign-owned company registered in Kenya, owned by Rita Riccardi and Elicono Limited, both fully Italian. And so, although these companies are owned by Italians, the name of the company is interesting. Is it just a mere coincidence that actually the name of the company are the initials of the cabinet CS? Oh yes. His name is Henry Kiprotich Rotich. Hekiro. Now, of course, up to that point, there's nothing illegal that has happened, and there's no crime which has been committed, because there's no offense against foreigners registering a company in praise of you as the CS of Finance. A company dedicated to you because you're such a great man. However, what follows raises eyebrows. Hekiro Investment Limited purchased 300 acres of land near the site of the dam construction. Hekiro Investment Limited also purchased buildings under construction, houses under construction, near the site of the dam. Now, why would they do this? Why would somebody go and purchase 300 acres of land that almost looks worthless in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, a generally dryish place. Yeah, why would they do that? Simple. They would do it to later sell the land to the government. Yeah, by getting some kind of compensation, because that land would make up part of the proposed dam project. And the compensation for 300 acres of land near a dam would run into hundreds of millions. Unfinished houses near the dam would attract rent from those working on the dam project, which would take several years. The workers would live there, and the owner would get millions in rent money every month. Or a Hero Investment Limited would even decide to sell the land, to sell the buildings to the people doing the construction, to the construction project. But there's a huge problem here. For you to make such a commitment, you would need what I'd call inside information. You would need to know that the government is definitely going to construct a dam at that particular site. And this is the other link to Cabinet CS Henry Rotich, apart from the company being named in his honor. If I can put it like that. Now, disturbingly, investigators are linking Bwana Rotich to similar previous deals. For instance, he is said to own land on the Lapset corridor. That as soon as that project kicks off, is going to receive compensation from the government of not less than 340 million. He has also been linked to similar deals connected to the SGR, the standard gauge railway from Nairobi to Mombasa. All this, together with what Kenyans have been talking about, how the government of Kenya can pay a company which is almost bankrupt billions of shillings before they have even done a single thing towards the project that is being awarded to them. Now, interestingly, Bwana Rotich contradicted the deputy president. Remember, the deputy president said it was only 7 billion? Well, Bwana Rotich contradicted him and said actually the figure is close to 20 billion. That is money paid out over these two dams in Kerio Valley, which are just still a thicket. There's nothing to show for billions paid out by the government. Now, this particular story has shocked many Kenyans, but it is nothing compared to the drama that is unfolding in a battle that is coming out very much into the open between the President of the Republic of Kenya and DP William Ruto camp. The two parties are now openly responding to each other in public. Yes, you heard me right. And so anybody who doubted our analysis, because I believe when you started doing this kind of analysis, when you started saying there was a problem between the deputy president and the president, which must have been early 2018, my apologies. Actually, before the 2017 presidential elections, most people rubbished what we were saying. And if anybody still has doubts, those doubts must now be thrown out of the window, because the two parties are openly firing barbs at each other in public. It's appearing in the media. Now we will dive into this very fascinating drama unfolding in our country immediately after the short upcoming commercial break. Don't even think of going away. welcome back. Now, DP Ruto camp have fired a barb at the president that he is corrupt. They have said the president is trying to fight corruption, and yet his family is bang in the middle of corruption. Response from the president? Anyone with details on graft by the first family should immediately report to the DCI, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. And now there's another response from the DP Ruto camp. Mainly from a man called Oscar Sudi, who's the Kapsaret legislator. My apologies, Kapsaret. Kapsaret is in the Rift Valley. And Mheshimiwa Bwana Sudi has responded on Facebook. Well, this is what he says. Well said, Mr. President. I agree with you that we must not address these issues in funerals, weddings, or other public functions. But unfortunately, Uhuru is DCI, and DCI is Uhuru. The implication here, of course, is that the president fully controls and directs DCI. Now, of course, all this maneno started on Sunday, when Sudi alleged that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations is being used to probe the dam scandal as a way of diverting attention from the planned takeover of the Kenya Airports Authority by the national carrier Kenya Airways. In reference to the DCI, Sudi said the following: "You have caused the sacking of so many innocent people, and their cries will not go free. If you don't want certain people, just tell them to resign, instead of faking graft charges." Now let's analyze this, so that we're clear what about all the drama, in fact the high wire drama that is unfolding in our country. What does Sudi mean when he says, when you don't want some people, just ask them to resign? Who is he referring to? Who does he mean when he says charges are being faked against them? Maybe I should play safe and respond to that question the way Raila Odinga responded to a question recently. Your guess is as good as mine. Don't get worried, just kidding, okay? He is definitely referring to the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Because the dam projects that people have been talking about are in the Rift Valley. And although the Deputy President has not been mentioned directly, some people close to him have been mentioned. And not only that, the Deputy President has taken it upon himself to respond to the allegations linked to the dam. Now, there's no way he would have responded if he did not feel that it was being targeted at him. So I'm afraid there's no doubt. It is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya that Sudi is referring to when he says, why don't you ask some people to resign instead of faking graft charges against them, instead of fabricating charges against them. Now, like in any drama, like if you're watching a very exciting movie that is putting you on the edge of the seat, the question usually asked is, what is going to happen next? Because the president has said something, DP Ruto camp has fired back. The president has said something else, DP Ruto camp has fired back again. Of course, this cannot continue forever. So the huge question that must be on everybody's mind is, what is going to happen next? Now, I don't know for sure. Indeed, I believe there is nobody who knows for sure except God Almighty himself. However, there are a few pointers that we should take very careful note of. And the most important one is the following. The investigations, of which we are seeing the results now, of graft allegations, including CCTV footage taken, of Kenyan government officials receiving money in hard currency, in very many bags, and including the latest, where we are told all kinds of very annoying things about how money is being stolen. All these investigations did not start yesterday. Indeed, they did not start 6 months ago. I'm here to tell you that. They started well over a year ago. I believe that was the time when I created a video for the Club 1999 members, and I gave them a nugget of information where I told them that National Intelligence Services officers have been dispatched, some of them abroad, to carry out investigations against a very prominent, very powerful, very high-placed official in government. That snippet of information did not appear to make any sense until we had a very curious admission by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, where we were told that they have footage, CCTV footage, of government officials accepting cash, bribes, somewhere abroad, in a hotel. I'm sure you can join the dots. Investigators or spooks were sent from Kenya, followed these people, and obtained the footage. Now, the long and short of what I'm trying to say is that since this thing started over a year ago, it is very intricately and carefully planned. There is an end game. And the end game is the arrest of some people. Of course, the other alternative, because these people are very highly placed, very powerful in government, is for these people to resign, and then a certain deal, immunity deal is made. Resign, and then we forget this manenos. Remain in your position, and we will definitely prosecute you. You know, that kind of deal, or that kind of offer, if you like. Barring some extraordinary development or activity happening to disrupt this, that is exactly what is going to unfold next. However, I must quickly add, something unexpected happening cannot be ruled out, because the stakes are very high here, extremely high. We are talking about the next president of the Republic of Kenya. Stakes can never be higher than that. And so, there are even those people who can say something extraordinary or something unexpected happening is the most likely thing that will happen next. And I cannot refute that. And there's something else that we cannot ignore. The president himself has been very clear and categorical. In fact, he has told us more than once that major arrests are going to start very, very soon. Now, the way I interpret this statement from the president, is that if it was any other senior, powerful official within government, maybe a PS, I don't think the president would have been so persistent, in telling us several times over the last few days that major arrests are going to start very soon. He is telling us this because it is not a clerk who's going to be arrested that he's talking about. He's telling us this because the kind of arrests that are coming have never, ever been witnessed in the country called Kenya since its independence in 1963. Never, ever. In other words, these arrests are major with a capital M. Now I can hear you chewing the popcorn even more viciously. You know, when you're watching a movie that has you on the edge, a very crazy thriller, that is really making your adrenaline flow, you will start unconsciously chewing more viciously, harder on the popcorn, and maybe you won't even notice, because the movie has almost reached its climax. Therefore, I can hear you, all you guys out there with popcorn, chewing even harder on your popcorn. Be careful with your teeth. But what I'm saying is that this development of chewing harder at the popcorn is with good reason. Because the high wire drama we're witnessing in the country called Kenya at the moment has never been seen before. Yeah. So why shouldn't somebody chew their popcorn harder in anticipation of what could happen next? Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.